Solicitor General is Shri Abhijit Mishra.
Lordship, the present petition has been filed for direction to respond number 2 for considering my environmental clearance application without insisting upon the NOC from Gram Panchayat NOC. They are the main contesting respondents and they have filed their reply as well. My relief is at page number 8.
हाँ
P1 का नोटिफिकेशन का अप्रेजल के संबंध में इसका इसके इस पर ना 1 की रिप्लाई भी टाइम दे दे।
तो इनमें तो रिलीफ में तो सिर्फ रिप्रेजेंटेशन कंसिडर करने के लिए है।
लॉर्डशिप, जो विदाउट इंसिस्टिंग अपॉन एनओसी है, दैट इज द पॉइंट जिसको लॉर्डशिप को डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज अंडर द EIA नोटिफिकेशन they don't have any power to prescribe any additional criteria for B2 project, which is it is.
सब पैरा 4 जो है पेज नंबर 15
Let them apply their mind whether this
नहीं,
NOC is
Lordship,
required or not.
मैं वही बता
Unless and until they say that unless and until there is no objection from the village panchayat.
नहीं, वो हो चुका लॉर्डशिप, मैं बता देता हूँ।
कौन सा?
मुझे लैंड सैंड माइंस अलॉट हुई थी, LOI हुआ था। उसकी एक कंडीशन थी कि आपको एनवायरमेंटल क्लियरेंस लेना है। आई अप्लाइड फॉर इट एंड दे हैव इशूड मी द लेटर, मींस दे हैव रिकमेंडेड माय EC with a condition that you have to prod this NOC from the Gram Panchayat. Page number lordship 105 में भी सी मेरे पॉजिटिव रिकमेंड पेज 100 में वो स्टार्ट होता है, सो दैट स्टार्टिंग एक बार पता चल जाए। दे हैव अप्लाइड देयर माइंड। दिस इज अ मिनट्स ऑफ मीटिंग ऑफ 12th February 24 लॉर्डशिप।
Which is that? Page number?
100 राज्य स्तरीय विशेषज्ञ मूल्यांकन समिति, विच इज रिस्पॉन्ड नंबर 3 बिफोर लॉर्डशिप। नेक्स्ट पेज में लॉर्डशिप मेरा केस है 101 में।
Yes. हंड्रेड वन में
जी, सीरियल नंबर 2 पे वो फिर पूरा डिस्कस करते हुए पॉजिटिव रिकमेंडेशन कर रहे हैं और उसी में एक कंडीशन स्टिपुलेट की गई है एक्स्ट्रा। एंड लॉर्डशिप, एक चीज और बता दूं मैं आपको, बस ये पेज 103 में मेरी श्रेणी देख लें, क्योंकि सर अभी वही पॉइंट आउट कर रहे थे। 103 में श्रेणी में B2 लिखा हुआ है।
So you have not arrayed the petitioner in appropriate manner.
लॉर्डशिप,
You have not arrayed the petitioner in an appropriate manner.
लॉर्डशिप, ही इज इंडिविजुअल।
No.
मोमेला
The Messrs. Mohmela
लॉर्डशिप,
Sand Mine
लॉर्डशिप
is the party in whose favor.
लॉर्डशिप पेज नंबर 76 देख लें एक बार, जो मेरी LOI है 76 में।
76
जी
individual capacity में।
जी
Why that consideration is through the
लॉर्डशिप,
firm?
कंसिडरेशन माय लॉर्ड्स इंडिविजुअल लॉर्डशिप, कोई डिफरेंस होता नहीं प्रोप्राइटरशिप का वहाँ,
अरे
बट यहाँ पे LOI तो मेरी इसी नाम पे लॉर्डशिप।
LOI आपके नाम से दिया है?
जी, इंडिविजुअल।
ठीक है।
लॉर्डशिप पेज नंबर अब 100 एंड एक बार 5 देख लें लॉर्डशिप।
खनिज साधारण रेत की नीलामी रिवर्स ऑप्शन के माध्यम से की गई, जिस पर एक से अधिक बोलीदारों ने
ये लॉर्डशिप 1 साल के
जस्ट
लिए
मिनट जस्ट Which is the condition imposed by them?
Yes, Lordship.
In which document?
Lordship, पेज 104 में वो स्टार्ट करते हैं मेरे फेवर में
104.
जी, एंड उसमें सीरियल नंबर 3, पेज 105. उत्खनन के संबंध में ग्राम पंचायत का अनामति प्रमाण पत्र सिया विच इज रिस्पॉन्डेंट नंबर 2 छत्तीसगढ़ में आवश्यक रूप से प्रस्तुत करने की शर्त के अधीन पर्यावरण स्वीकृति की सशर्त अनुशंसा की जाती है. So that means they are positive recommendation in my favor, subject to
Which clause?
3, sir, Lordship.
3.
3.
उत्खनन के संबंध ग्राम पंचायत का अनापत्ति प्रमाण पत्र को ACIA छत्तीसगढ़ में आवश्यक रूप से प्रस्तुत करने की शर्त के.
And this is my only objection, that they cannot prescribe additional conditions beyond the EIA notification for B2 project. I am refraining only my case to B2. B1 BA में आ सकती हैं, उनको पावर है. मैं अभी EIA नोटिफिकेशन लॉर्डशिप्स को थ्रू कर दूंगा, उसमें उनको कंडीशंस स्टिपुलेटेड है कि वो कुछ भी मंगा सकते हैं.
B1.
B1 A 2 और ये B2 है लॉर्डशिप.
What is B1?
यस लॉर्डशिप, मैं एक मिनट बता दूं लॉर्डशिप. पहले बस मैं एक बार आपको सेटिस्फाई कर दूं कि ये B2 है, इन्होंने ही कंसीडर किया B2, क्योंकि मेरा केस सिर्फ B2 का ही है. पेज 103.
103.
जी लॉर्डशिप, श्रेणी जी B2. क्यों? क्योंकि आवेदित खनन का क्षेत्रफल 4.9 हेक्टेयर. तो ये B2 का ही केस है बस. नाउ लॉर्डशिप, पेज 10.
B1 and B2 is of difference mining area.
यस लॉर्डशिप, अगर मेरा 5 से ऊपर हो जाएगा तो B1 चला जाएगा. एंड देन आई विल आल्सो रिक्वायर पब्लिक कंसल्टेशन, पब्लिक हियरिंग, EIA रिपोर्ट भी लगेंगी. वही उसी का पूरा स्कीम है फिर. एंड देन दे हैव द पावर टू आस्क मी एनी डॉक्यूमेंट. पेज 10 है लॉर्डशिप, EIA नोटिफिकेशन, जो कि पूरी EC को गवर्न करता है.
Page 10.
लॉर्डशिप, पेज 10 में स्टार्ट होता है. नाउ लॉर्डशिप, सीरियल नंबर 2, पेज 11, रिक्वायरमेंट्स ऑफ प्रायर एनवायरमेंटल क्लियरेंस. The following project or activities shall require prior environmental clearance from the concerned regulatory authority, which shall hereinafter referred to be as the central government in the Ministry of Environment Forest for matters falling under category A in the schedule, and at the state level the State Environment Impact Assessment Authority for matters falling under category B in the said schedule, before any construction work or preparation of the lands by the project management.
Which clause you are reading? 3.
2, Lordship.
2.
Two.
Requirements of
Requirements.
prior.
The following project or activity shall require prior environment clearance from the concerned regulatory authority, which shall hereinafter referred to be as the central government in the Ministry of Environment and Forest for matters falling under category A in the schedule, and at the state level the State Environment Impact Assessment Authority for matters falling under category B in the said schedule, before any construction work or preparation of land by the project proponent except for securing the land is started on the project or activity. Lordship, now at page number 19 is the schedule.
Just a minute.
Lordship. Page 19, serial number 1 only, Lord.
Yes.
Mining of minerals, more than 50 hectare of mining lease, Lordship, ऊपर A लिखा हुआ है, category of a threshold, and less than 50, more than 5 hectare lease, B. Now their sub bifurcation has been done on the basis of some internal circular. Therefore, only in that minutes of meeting B2 is there. Otherwise, it would be B1.
What is that column number 5?
Your Lordship, this is the conditions which may be imposed.
Which
and
are
the-
those conditions?
Yes,
General
Lord.
condition shall apply.
Yes, Lordship. This
What is that
conditions-
general condition?
Yes, Lordship. It is there only. Page 27.
27. Yes.
Note, Lordship. Special condition, general condition. Although they are not applicable only, but just I am reading. Any project or activity specified in category B will be treated as category A if located in whole or in part within 10-kilometer boundary of protected areas notified under the Wildlife Protection Act 1992, critically polluted areas as notified by the Central Pollution Control Board from time to time, notified eco-sensitive areas, interstate boundaries and international boundaries. So my case does not fall in this. This
Is not falling in these
No, no.
categories.
my case is only in interpretation of clause 7 because their reply is very specific, so I am directly going to that place only.
Clause 7 of?
Lordship, clause 7 of this notification.
Which notification?
This is called, Lordship, the P1 is EIA notification of 2006, Lordship. And in
Clause 7.
sorry, Lordship, it's page 15, sub clause 4. 7 ka Roman 4.
15.
Yes, Lordship. If Lordship will permit me, my Lords, I would like to read from 7 only because that distinguishes all the projects, that what are you required and what you are not required. There are, Lordship, page 13, 4 stages of grant of EC. But which process will be applicable on which category, that is described in serial number stage 1, stage 2, stage 3.
Stages in the prior and full clearance
Yes, Lordship.
process of new projects.
Yes, Lordship. And this is the new mines only, fresh EC.
Stage 1 is screening
Lord.
only for category B projects and activities.
Will entail scrutiny of an application seeking prior environment clearance
What
made
is
in
stage
form
1 is screening in case of category B projects or activities?
whether-
Entail the scrutiny of an application seeking prior environmental clearance made in Form 1 by the concerned state level for determining whether or not the project or activity requires further environmental studies.
Lordship, sixth
For
line
its
is
appraisal
important.
prior to the grant of environmental clearance depending upon nature.
The
Projects requiring an
projects
environmental impact assessment report shall be treated category B1 and remaining projects shall be termed as category B2.
and remaining projects will be termed as B2 and will not require environment impact assessment record. So in my case, there was no requirement of EIA report.
Categorization of the projects into B1 and B2 except item number 8B the listed.
Now comes, Lordship, second stage.
So
So in my case, screening is done only on the basis of application. There is no requirement of report. Why I am still reading it? Because, my Lords, when we read the last stage, it will be clear that my case has to be considered only on the basis of application. Neither there is any public consultation nor there is any report. So their only argument that we can ask for any document will be demolished. Now, Lordship, second stage is scoping. Scoping refers to the process by which expert appraisal committee in the case of category A project or activities and state level expert committee in the case of category B1 projects or activities, including applications for expansion and modernization or any change in product means or of existing projects or activities, determine detailed comprehensive terms of reference addressing all relevant environment concerns for the preparation of environment impact assessment report in respect of the project or activity for which prior environmental clearance is sought. Now I stop here, on Lordship. This clause deals with the report, and the just above it we have read that for category 2 report is not required, B2. So due to which this clause is not applicable in my case, because this clause deals with report, terms of reference.
Yes.
Now Lordship, in the stage 3, next page, page 14. Yes, Lordship. Stage 3 is public consultation. All category A, B1 project or activity shall undertake public consultation except the following. Small e, Lordship. All category B2 projects are exception. So I don't need undertake public consultation also. Fourth line,
All category and B projects or activities shall undertake public consultation except following.
So clause 3 is also not applicable. Now Lordship, now we come to stage 4, which is their main thrust of argument. Next page, Lordship, page 15. It is appraisal, Lordship.
Appraisal.
Yes, Lordship. This is their main thrust of argument. Appraisal means the detailed scrutiny by the expert appraisal committee or state level expert appraisal committee of the application and other documents like the final EIA report, outcome of the public consultation, including public hearing proceedings submitted by the applicant to the regulatory authority concerned for grant of environmental clearance. This appraisal shall be made by the expert appraisal committee or state level expert appraisal committee concerned in a transparent manner in a proceeding to which the applicant shall be invited for furnishing necessary clarifications in person or through an authorized representative. On conclusion of this proceeding, the expert appraisal committee or state level expert appraisal committee shall make categorical recommendations to the regulatory authority concerned either for grant of prior environmental clearance on stipulated terms and conditions or rejection of the application for prior environmental clearance together with reasons for the same. Now this clause talks about the report, the public consultation and any document which they want to sort from you or clarification, and they can impose any condition. This clause is their argument in which has come in reply. My argument is that this is not applicable. Clause number 2 is applicable in my case. The appraisal of all project or activities which are not required to undergo public consultation or submit an environment impact assessment report shall be carried out on the basis of prescribed application form 1, form 1A as applicable, any other relevant validated information available, and the site which is wherever the same is considered necessary by the expert appraisal committee, a state level expert appraisal committee concerned. So Lordship, I have just taken through the stage 2, wherein I have shown that it was only required for category A and B1. In public consultation, there is a clear-cut exception that for B2 it is not required. Therefore, only this subclause 2 of Roman 4 is applicable, and my case has to be considered only on the basis of prescribed application form 1. Their argument is that this is not applicable, so Roman 1 is applicable only. But when we read Roman 1, it is very clear that it relies upon the report of the EIA expert appraisal committee, public consultation, which are not applicable in my case.
Available in the site visit.
This is the only issue.
Then what about the any other relevant validated information available?
Available, Lordship. They cannot seek documents because there is a difference. In the first clause, they say other documents like. They can sort for documents. It is information.
No,
it is not
what
an
I'm
approval which they are asking
only
for.
considering what is mentioned therein.
Any
Any
other
other relevant validated information
and the site
available
visit.
and the site visit
Yes, if at all.
wherever the same is considered as necessary by the expert appraisal committee or state level appraisal committee concerned.
Lordship, information and no objection both are different. If you sort from me that what is your turnover, how will you do, that is information. You cannot sort for an document from me that bring a no objection. That is not an information. If they
Yes.
can ask for that, how many wildlife sanctuaries are nearby your mining lease, that is an information.
ठीक. Yes.
And second point, Lordship, they will argue that there is an alternative remedy. I have to go before the NGT. For that, Lordship, I have already disclosed in my petition and they have filed the order also. This is the order of NGT, wherein I only went for some other case, seeking direction for environmental clearance. The National Green Tribunal has said that we don't have such jurisdiction. I will read para 1, 2 and 3, Lordship. This original application has been filed under section 14, 15 and 18 of NGT Act, seeking direction to respond number 2, which is herein also same, and respond number 3, it should be 3, to consider application of extension of environmental clearance pursuant to notification dated 12 April 22 in the time bound manner, overriding objection of respond number 2 and 3 recorded in minutes of meeting 25/5/2022 and 20th June 22 in regards to Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change notification dated 12th April 22. Similar relief to the present case. Ex facie, we are of the view that this OA under section 14, 15 and 18 of NGT Act is not maintainable, inasmuch as no substantial question relating to environment due to implementation of schedule enactment under NGT Act 2010 has arisen. Applicant is a project proponent engaged in mining activities whose EC has expired, and disputes raised is about consideration of his application, whether it should be for extension or he should apply for fresh EC. Therefore, ex facie, the application does not come within the domain of 14, 15, 18 and hence it is not maintainable. However, to cut short the matter and litigation, we have also gone through the record and considered the grievances raised by the applicant. So later on it was dismissed. So when NGT itself has said that for such reliefs we don't have any jurisdiction under section 14, 15, 18, Lordship, I cannot go there and waste my time, because my LOI which has been granted by the collector for the mines will going to expire on 15 December 25, Lordship.
Yes, Captain.
The State Environment Assessment Committee and the State Level Impact SIA Assessment Authority. So I have filed my reply. Presently, I may be allowed to discuss on the preliminary objection with regard to maintainability before the NGT, because this issue involves the interpretation of the EIA notification which has been enacted by the MOFCC, which is the respondent number 1, Your Lordship. Since it is an interpretation of regulation number 7, paragraph 4, subclause 1 and 2, whether at the appraisal stage, the State Environment Assessment Committee is permissible to ask for any document like no objection certificate from the Gram Panchayat or not. Since in the minutes of the meeting, the respondent number 2 itself has recommended to the SIA that you have to seek for the no objection certificate, since it is a sand mining query going to be established by the petitioner in the village Mohamela at Tehsil Arang. Therefore, as per the corporate environment responsibility program also, the say of the people of the villages have to be taken into account, since it is a project, and after establishing their project, they are going under the garb of the corporate environment responsibility which the environment board has issued in the state. They ought to have to provide some opportunities to the village of the people. So therefore, the say of the people has to be taken into account. Even in the form which they have submitted for grant of environment clearance, they also, in the form also, I will elaborate that the information regarding to the people affected in the village has also to be revealed in that form. And since it is a category B2 project, so it has to be mandatorily be granted on the basis of the form. In the form itself, the information is sought for whether the people are affected or not. So therefore, the information by way of a document, which is the no objection certificate from the Gram Panchayat, is necessary. Now, first and foremost, my preliminary objection as per section 14 of the NGT Act, page number 2 of my reply may be seen.
NGT Act निकालना, National Green
NGT
Tribunal
Act section 14(1) I have reproduced in my reply, page number 3.
Yes.
Page number 3 of my reply, I may read, your lordship. This says the tribunal, the National Green Tribunal, shall have jurisdiction over all civil cases where a substantial question relating to environment, including enforcement of any legal right relating to environment, is involved, and such question arise out of the implementation of the enactment as specified in Schedule 1. Now, Schedule 1 contains 7 of the enactments, and in there is an enactment of serial number 5, Environment Protection Act 1986. Now, the EIA notification actually emanates from this Environment Protection Act 1986. I have revealed that in the subsequent paragraphs. The Environment Impact Assessment Notification 2006, which is the crux of the matter in this case, is issued by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. That is respondent number 1. Issued in exercise of powers under Rule 5, Subclause 3 of the Environment Protection Rules 1986, which itself emanates from the Environment Protection Act 1986. So, therefore, since EIA has emanated from the Environment Protection Rules, which are therein formed under the EPA Act 1986, it will very well come under Schedule 1 of serial number 4, which involves the interpretation of all the rules and regulations and legislation mentioned in Schedule 1. Now, this case involves the interpretation of Regulation 7, Paragraph 4, with regard to appraisal, which has to be carried out by the State Environment Assessment Committee, SEAC. Now, SEAC, whether they can include documents such as NOC or not, will come under the substantial interpretation of the EIA notification itself, because because it involves proper implementation of environmental norms. Now, since in the petitioner, petitioner have quoted a original application case before the NGT, that, your lordship, is distinguishable, because that involved a question where a force majeure or a global pandemic was involved, which was not envisaged by any of the laws and legislation. His environment clearance was expiring. The question arose whether it has to be renewed or extended under the garb of COVID pandemic, because during that time the Supreme Court also has released some orders for extension of all the limitations. Now, in the present case, the petitioner is seeking an overriding effect, a prayer of overriding effect, which involves an interpretation of appraisal 4, which involves the stage 4 of appraisal, interpretation of stage 4 of appraisal, whether NOC can be included in the documents which has been enumerated at the stage of appraisal. Now, when it comes to stage 4, clause 1 and 2, stage 1 is a general clause which defines appraisal. It cannot be said that it is bifurcating in category B1 or B2 or category A in the first place. If your lordship may read the appraisal, which is at page number 15 of the petition, stage 4 appraisal, clause 1 specifically only defines what appraisal means and what the SEAC or EAC, as the case may be, should do. Appraisal here means a detailed scrutiny by the state level expert appraisal committee, which is the respondent number 2 in this case, of the application, which is form 1, which is submitted by the petitioner, and other documents. Now, the interpretation involves deciding what should be the domain of other documents. Now, this question involves a substantial question of law relating to the interpretation of EIA, which vests with the power of the NGT under section 14. Other documents like final EIA report, outcome of public consultation, including public hearing proceedings submitted by the applicant to the regulatory authority, that is the SEAC. Now, even if clause 1 is given a go by because it's a category B2 project, Now, if we move on to clause 2, which he is inferring that since projects do not require public hearing, it ought to be category B2. This appraisal clauses never have revealed any type of category. They are stating a general statement that what appraisal means. Clause 2, the appraisal of all projects and activities which are not required to undergo public consultation, assuming that it is category B2 with ordinary sand mining, or they need not submit a EIA report and shall be carried out. That's a mandatory provision. Shall be carried out on the basis of prescribed application form 1 or form 1A as applicable. Form 1 is applicable in this case, and any other relevant validated information available. This also involves deciding the domain of what information can be sought by the SESC. This clause 2, gives a discretionary power to the SESC. Now it involves an interpretation of clause 2 also by the NGT, whether SESC has a discretionary power to include any other relevant information validated in the form of a document by the people of the village Mohamela, Tehsil Arang. Now, if your lordship may see form 1, which is also a part of the EIA notification. Form 1 is a part of appendix 1, that is at page number 28 of the petition. This is the form 1 which has been submitted by the petitioner for grant of EC before the SESC and SIA, and the specific column is at page number 31. If your lordship may see serial number 3 of that form 1, they are to provide information checklist about affect the welfare of the people by changing living conditions or vulnerable groups of people who could be affected by the project, example hospital patients, children and the elderly, etc. Now,
which you are reading?
Page number 31 of the petition,
31.
serial number 3. Now there is a table formed in which 3.3 and 3.4. The form 1 itself asks for such and such information about the people of the village where the this sand mining project is to be established. Now simply providing the information would not suffice. If the B2 project allows the SESC to only go through the form 1, what are the supporting documents which are to be sought then? If only the information provided by them would be considered as a realm of truth, because it reveals that any affected people by changing lives and condition, vulnerable groups of people.
What is clause 3 which you are reading? Clause 3.
Use, storage, transport, handling or production of substances or materials which could be harmful to human health or environment or raise concern about actual or perceived risk to human health. Page 31. This clause 3 is very well applicable to sand quarry mining, because ultimately they are mining. So transport of sand, storage of sand or substances or materials could anyway harmful to the public health because it contains particulate matters. Now clause 3.3 and 3.4 force the petitioner to reveal the information of the people getting affected in the locality. So simply by providing information, that would suffice or not, that needs to be checked. Now subclause 2 of stage 4 gives a discretionary power to the SESC to call for supporting documents. That's why it is written any other relevant validated information validated by the Gram Panchayat Mohamela by way of a document which is NOC. This cannot be hearsay evidence like what the petitioner Rohit Singhania would write. It would be like holy grail for us, that it will be a gospel of truth that yes, the people are not affecting by my sand mining. I will believe that. I need supporting documents for that. Now one such document is NOC from Gram Panchayat. So this seriously involves an interpretation of stage 4 regulation 7 of the EIA, which can only be done by the NGT under section 14 of the NGT Act 2010. That's why this case is distinguishable from the Shanti Minerals case in OA, which the petitioner himself has gone to the NGT Bhopal division and argued the matter, because that facts were peculiar relating to a pandemic which was not envisaged by any other environmental laws, because everybody's limitation was expiring. Since Rohit Singhania's environmental lease was expiring, he came before the NGT, and NGT told that this matter only involves extension or renewal under the garb of special pandemic situation. Therefore, this does not involve any interpretation of the EIA. But in this case, it seriously involves interpretation of stage 4, clause 2. because any other relevant validated information gives the discretionary power to the respondent number 2 and 3 to decide what documents need to be sought and what documents need not be sought. And in support of that, there is a judgment of the Supreme Court, which I have enumerated in my reply. That is at page 5 of my reply, paragraph 8. That is 2012 clause, volume 8, SCC 326. The relevant portion is at 347 at paragraph 40.
Page 5.
Page 5 of my reply. That is Bhopal Gas Pidit Mahila Udyog Sandhan versus Union of India. I may read the operative portion, paragraph 40. Keeping in view of the provisions and scheme of the NGT Act 2010, particularly section 14, 29, 30 and 38 clause 5, it can be safely be concluded that the environmental issues and matters covered under the NGT Act, specifically Schedule 1, should be instituted and litigated before the NGT. Such approach may be necessary to avoid likelihood of conflict of orders between the High Court and NGT. Thus, in unambiguous terms, we direct that all the matters instituted after coming into the force of NGT, which is 2010, and which are covered under the provision of the NGT Act and Schedule 1 of the NGT Act, shall stand transferred or case be instituted only before NGT. This will be help in rendering expeditious and specialized justice in the field of environment to all concerned. Now, in Shanti Vijay Minerals also, although the NGT negated that we are not inclined to decide this issue about extension or renewal of EC, but ultimately they decided upon that. This case is distinguishable from that because it itself involves the interpretation of stage 4, that is the appraisal, specifically category B2, that it is written any other relevant validated information. Will it give a discretionary power to me to grant, to ask for any document which is necessary to carve out the intention of the people of the Gram Mohamela, or to hear the voice of, because this category B2 project does not involve any public hearing. So, which gives an utmost importance to the say of the Gram Panchayat, because it does not involve, had it involved the public hearing, the NOC condition would not have been required, because in the public hearing, the Gram Panchayat would have a say. But in category B2, which does not involve public consultation, now the NOC from Gram Panchayat can be introduced, because subclause 2 itself says that the SCAC can ask for any other validated information. Now, in the corporate environmental...
Yes, Mr. Shukla.
First of all, Lordship, what is the interpretation of clause? This
No,
court-
that decision which you are relying upon, that the NGT may not consider, or they have no jurisdiction to consider this type of litigation,
It was
appears
passed
to
in
be
their presence.
appears to be distinguishable. That
Lordship, first
Shanti
of
Vijay
all,
Minerals.
it was passed in their presence. They have not challenged it.
No, I'm not
And
saying
this-
so. Shanti Vijay Minerals case is only seeking the extension of the period of the limitation.
No, Lordship, I am seeking direction. The main thing is direction. In
the case of the NGT,
Yes.
which you have referred,
Yes,
read para 1.
yes, Lordship. The original application has been filed
The
under section
respondent number so and so and
seeking
respondent number 2.
direction to respondent number 2.
No, referred to consider application for
Yes.
extension of environment clearance.
Yes,
So the environment clearance is there. Only the extension of the period is to sort
Lordship,
for in that.
but direction is, they don't have jurisdiction to
So-
decide the direction. That is my
No,
point.
not direction. Whether the provisions, whether the requirement as sought by the EC
Lordship,
will
then-
apply based on the relevant provisions or not. That
Lordship,
is
I
your
will
objection.
produce two judgments which says that one party, at the instance of a party, jurisdiction cannot be posted upon the tribunal, number one. Number two, if a question of law has arisen, this court cannot direct for means remanding matter for alternative remedy,
ठीक है,
because there are judgments on this line.
ठीक है.
And when he has argued so much, then it is very much sufficient that question of law has arisen in respect of clause 7(4). Because after such a substantial time, Lordship, I am going there, and then they again say we don't have any jurisdiction, which was passed in their presence only. And they have not challenged it neither. And I have disclosed it in my petition only. They have not got to know from somewhere else. So, Lordship, give me some time, I will produce that two judgments, that at the instance of parties, jurisdiction cannot be vested upon a party, means an authority, which it
Not based upon them.
No, at the instance, Lordship, because they have said that we don't have anything. This is
Under
not,
the Act, there is a specific, the provisions of law
otherwise,
there,
Lordship,
that
we'll have
how,
to deliberate that how your jurisdiction is there, so that they don't go into it
No,
again.
no. You have filed the writ petition here.
Yes.
They are objecting that you are having the alternate remedy.
No, Lordship,
They are
but-
not insisting that on the basis on that the jurisdiction will be in.
But Lordship, that would be, my lords,
They have every right to raise an objection.
they have right to object, my lords. I have not denied, but I have my
If at the
judgment.
time, initial stage of time for the notices have been issued or the petition has been considered.
Lordship, but this judgment
Hmm.
will create impediment for me. When I go there, they
Yes.
will say that this type of petition is not maintainable because my relief would be same for seeking direction. I am not challenging any order. Otherwise, that would have been maintainable. And
Yes.
one favorable minutes of meeting is there in my favor. I would be seeking the same direction.
Hmm.
And then they will say that no, we don't have any jurisdiction. Go back to High Court.
Hmm.
So
What
there,
jurisdiction?
Lordship, that we don't decide, cannot decide giving direction under section 14, 15 and 18. We cannot issue any
No,
direction.
not direction. They will say that you are not required to submit the relevant document.
No, Lordship,
They will uphold your.
but
Pass
direction
and
has
orders.
to be given that you don't.
Why
insist upon-
direction?
No, Lordship, because relief would be same. How can I will change?
Not
the relief?
direction. Filed this writ petition seeking following reliefs. Counsel for the petitioner submits. Yes, I will dictate it in chamber.
Lordship.
Time is